one song that sort of means so much to me is Hippotella by Sigur Rós. It's always been a really beautiful track that's really made me feel something. Recommend anyone to go and watch the music video. If you haven't seen it, it's basically these two groups of old folks that are like going around doing graffiti, and it's kind of this idea of never growing old and always being young inside and being playful, and that's literally what my show is about. So my name is Darryl J. Carrington and my show is called Out of the Box.
Can you describe your show in 3 sentences for my audience?
So it's a super silly, fun show, crosses lots of different genres, circus, magic, comedy, clown, and I've designed it a bit like a Pixar movie, so I guarantee that you, the parents, will have as much fun, if not more, than the kids. And if I was to describe it, what other things it might be like, it's like if Mr. Bean did tricks or if Vic and Bob were at the circus.
So what is the most unexpected thing an audience member has ever done at one of your shows?
So I think it was actually the first time that I ever performed non-verbal here in Edinburgh, probably about 7 or 8 years ago. And the first bit of the show, I wanted to take my jacket off so that I could do a juggling routine. And there's a little old chap behind me, and I kept trying to insinuate that I wanted him to take off my jacket, and he ended up sort of like jumping me up and down and pulling me about, and I managed to like drag him on the stage, and I like took off my jacket and I looked up at him, and it was this perfect little short Mediterranean dude with this lovely round olive face and this beautiful handlebar moustache, and his beret just slightly off to one side, holding my jacket just here. And I looked at him, then looked at the audience and put my fingers on each side of my head like a horn, like a bull, and then we did this totally improvised bullfight show in the middle at the start.
If you were to wake up inside of your show one day, what's the first thing you would do?
Probably brush my teeth. You'll have to see the show for that to make sense, but there's a lot of toothbrushes.
Do you have any useless yet beloved talents that you want to share with my audience?
One of the things that I wanted to try and do when I was making the sort of work that I'm doing, having been from a sort of high skill circus background where I used to do flying trapeze and juggling. I mean, arguably juggling's a useless skill. Love the idea of trying to do TikTok trick shots live. So I taught myself to do bottle flips on command, and then I taught myself to be able to juggle 3 bottles and then do 3 bottle flips. It goes juggle, 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 but, and genuinely no one cared. It was like literally I spent months learning this trick, and people were just like, yeah, I've seen that on TikTok. And you're like, no, you've seen someone on TikTok do it 2,000 times and just get it right once. Like, I've learned to be able to do it every single time. So yeah, that was probably the most frustrating one.
If your show had a soundtrack, what song would you put on it?
So obviously working non-verbal, like the entire show is a soundtrack basically. So, and I have lots of different songs for every different sort of person. The one song that sort of means so much to me is Hippotella by Sigur Rós. It's always been a really beautiful track that's really made me feel something. Recommend anyone to go and watch the music video. If you haven't seen it, it's basically these two groups of old folks that are like going around doing graffiti, and it's kind of this idea of never growing old and always being young inside and being playful. And that's literally what my show is about. It's about sort of being silly and still sort of being playful, and and I get the audience up to be silly in front of their kids so their kids can see them, but in a loving way. Do you know what I mean? They're not the butt of the joke. They're kind of, everyone's there to sort of celebrate and have a good time. So yeah, I think that song kind of emulates or is a perfect metaphor for the show in general.
I have a question for you that's really important. What reasons would you give for booking your show?
Oh, that's a really great question. If you want to come to a show that you're basically just going to get lost for an hour and you're going to forget about all the troubles in the world, and you're just going to come and laugh harder than you have done for a long time and see a lot of people having just a joyful, silly experience, and everyone's welcome. There's every race, creed, colour, social class. Everyone comes along to my shows because it's non-verbal, because it's gentle, and because it's fun and it's silly, and I just want everyone to have a nice time, and I really care about my audience, and I'm always making sure that people are having a good time. It's what the Fringe is about. Do you know what I mean? You'll see stuff in that show that you won't see anywhere else, and that's super silly, and yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy it and you'll tell your friends to come along too.
Where can my audience find you on socials and also at the Fringe this year?
Of course, so I'm on the social medias at Darryl J. Carrington, both on Facebook and Instagram. And websites www.darryljcarrington.com with all my future 2026 tour dates on it. And here at the Fringe, I'm playing with Underbelly at the Jersey, 11:30 a.m, which is in Bristow Square. See you there.
Thank you so much.